Hey Adora, we are back with She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. We're doing a review already. Okay, granted, my season 2 review was really super late. So we're all caught up now. This is season 3, and this is going to be some mild spoilers ahead. So if you haven't seen season 3 yet, make sure to do so before you really start watching this video. There's only like 6 episodes. You could actually put me on pause and go watch the season. So let's just say it's really good, and that's that. All right, now for those of you wanting to watch, let's go. The season kicks off immediately, right where we left off. There was no fake outs or anything like that. Shadow Weaver escapes from the Horde and the Fright Zone and goes right to Adora. This gets Catra into deep trouble, and she just fills in the vacancy on her cell. Shadow Weaver is dying and needs some kind of help. She knows that She-Ra's sword and magic can help her. Of course, nobody wants to help her because she's really horrifyingly evil. But Adora makes the deal to heal her, and she starts talking. Now, Shadow Weaver tells her about this First One's tech that's out in, like, a really bad desert, the evil desert that kills people pretty easily. It's kind of a wasteland. At the same time, Hordak decides to punish Catra by sending her out to the same desert. So what they do is we basically have a quest, both of them, going out finding the exact same thing. Of course, She-Ra gets there first, She-Ra, Glimmer, and Bo, with the help of Huntara, who is making her appearance in the show. Also, Tongue Lasher appears in this show, with an awesome fight between him and Catra. Catra, by the way, has an excellent episode because she's done. She has had it, and we get to watch her kind of like, I don't want to say progress, maybe degress. She is basically becoming more and more unhinged throughout this season. Probably the middle episode, I think, really kind of starts showing her where we are. And then, of course, they're able to get this tech, and the Catcher is able to figure out that, and of course, Entrapta can open up Hordak's portal he once opened so bad with She-Ra's sword. And that, of course, causes, like, temporal problems because they don't have the technology quite tweaked to the point where it's not dangerous, and it's essentially like kind of like ruins reality and is tearing the world apart, tearing reality apart. And of course, it's She-Ra's job to bring it back. Then, of course, we get to this kind of like weird fantasy world where essentially everything is perfect for Adora and Catra. But Adora realizes it's not quite perfect, and she's able to go from world to world within this world where realities are perfect for everybody. Like, Glimmer has both her parents, and Bo is a librarian like his parents wanted him to be, because there's really no reason to fight. And then, of course, you know, every time she encounters one of them, she's able to, like, wake them up a little bit, and they, of course, go, and the world is literally collapsing behind Adora because she's basically the focal point. They talk to Entrapta, who is apparently, because she's Entrapta, knows that the reality is false, so she's able to instruct Adora what to do. Unfortunately, it requires moving the sword from its place, and whoever does that will most likely be stuck in between dimensions. I don't know if that's kind of freezes them in place in a pocket dimension or kills them. Kind of doesn't matter if they can't come back, I guess. Dora is willing to do this, but it's actually Queen Angela who takes it up, and we get to see that foreshadowed when she's saying her goodbyes to Glimmer. Glimmer kind of lets her have it again by essentially calling her a coward and telling her she's petrified and just trapped by fear. She doesn't use the word coward. That's Angela. When she has that moment before she goes and removes the sword, she tells Adore, she confesses that she is a coward. And maybe she's a little hard on herself, but that's her fear. She's been so afraid of everything coming apart. She has, like, walled off, Brightwood, and like trying to keep everything at bay, afraid of what's going to happen, and because she wants to protect everything so bad. And she fears that, like, because of this, it hasn't helped anything. Everything's just progressively become worse till we got to this point. So she feels like, I have to do the thing. You have a different destiny. I have to do this. And of course, it ends very sadly with Adore having to tell Glimmer essentially about what has happened. That's when we get a hint at Horde Prime. He has noticed this flicker on his radar caused by all the shenanigans with the portal. He now knows where Hordak is. Hordak, by the way, we get some really great information on him. Let's see. Where do we go from here? Adora has some really great character growth in this season, where she has been in the previous season, season 2, really afraid of repeating Mara's mistakes. And she's been very, very concentrated on becoming the best she can. She has this interaction with Catra, who, by the way, has become progressively worse, like I mentioned earlier, because she is just slowly, like, losing it and just losing. Like, look, she fought all this way to get to the number 2 job in the Horde, and she loses it just in a brief second. And she feels like she has nothing, and she's tired of seeing Adora win. And she doesn't care if it kills everybody. She is going to prevent her from winning just this once. Doesn't even matter. Like, it's worse than suicidal. She's willing to just undo reality just so she can have a win. Actually, it's not even so much having a win of her own, just so Adora doesn't win. Wow, that's really messed up. So, Hordak is really great in this season. Now, I've been a big fan of the character. I know people were complaining that there weren't enough of him, but I just had confidence that they were holding their cards close to their chest and waiting for that moment to kind of unleash him. The fact that he doesn't snort when he laughs was a very big deal for me. That puts him over the top for me as far as being better than the original. Okay, we get to find out that he is a clone of the original Horde Prime, and Horde Prime has made an army of clones as generals, and they all go and take over the universe. He apparently has health problems because maybe he's an imperfect clone, and he was cast out because Horde Prime isn't a very good person. And he crash lands on Etheria, and of course he is decided well, screw him, I'm going to take over this planet and I'm going to show him. Very similar to Catra. I like how they've been kind of repeating, this bad behavior, through Catra, the Shadow Weaver, Catra, and Hordak kind of started this chain when you think about it. And I gotta say, his relationship with Entrapta was surprising. I didn't see this kind of coming, but it does actually make sense. In a world of magic, they're both kind of scientists, and they kind of get each other in that respect. And Entrapta, who has been this giggling, laughing, cartoonish buffoon, maybe I shouldn't say buffoon because that implies that she's dumb. Just this kind of cartoonish person has some real genuinely human moments with him, like when she's able to kind of fix his armor, and they have that kind of connection, and she tells him, I'm glad you're my friend too. And it's not her being over the top crazy or anything like that. That felt like her. That felt like her being a person and connecting with him. And it's kind of interesting to see cartoonish supervillain Hordak relate to her in that way, like doing his best to kind of still maintain who he is, but still like, well, you know, that was good, thank you. Like, just trying to be decent to her through the only way he could. And that moment where Catra kind of loses it and attacks Entrapta and lies to Hordak that Entrapta betrayed him, you could see it on his face. Like, oh shit, I opened up to her and she did that to me. Now, speaking of Entrapta, one of the things I suspected in season 2 was there was going to be a comeuppance on this, because like Entrapta betrayed her friends to work with Catra and the Horde, and I've been thinking like that's going to come back and bite her in the ass, and sure did. Catra, when Entrapta says, no, we're not doing this portal, my numbers are telling me this isn't going to work, we got to stop it, she like knocks her out with one of those stun gun things, and has her sent to Beast Island, which we have learned through season 2. Beast Island is basically a death sentence. So that brings us to season 4. Season 4 is going to we're going to find out what let's stick with Entrapta. We're going to see probably some sort of maybe redemption arc for Entrapta as she figures out, maybe that Horde group wasn't so great after all. I mean, they kind of really killed me, essentially. And of course, we get to see a more strengthened She-Ra after this past season. Now, Queen Angela is gone or dead or whatever, or at least out of the series and off the throne. That, of course, means Glimmer will most likely be ascended to the throne. And there is also an issue because among the good guys, they ain't many adults. All these are teenagers with way too much power. So I'm curious if that's going to mean we're going to see Huntara, not obviously ascend to the throne, but I mean put in kind of a adult position with these characters. Or maybe Shadow Weaver. Shadow Weaver is still with the good guys, and she's not a good guy. She was only with the good guys because it benefited her. So I'm very curious to see where we go from there. Because she's not a person to be trusted. Even though she helped them with this and gained some trust, and our good guys are good, but that can't be a peaceful relationship. So we'll see what happens there. And of course, the big stinger at the end is Horde Prime discovering, hey, there's where that Hordak guy is. All right, let's go over there and kick some ass and kill whoever's there. That was a big armada we saw. And they are, by the way, if you look at the background of that shot, they are in the process of decimating some planet, some world. So that can't be good. So these are things. Now, I'm very interested to see Horde Prime, because Horde Prime, to me, I never understood the concept of Horde Prime as a kid when I was watching the old show, because, like, I remember when he first started popping up in the show, I was like, wait, Hordak has a boss? Who the hell is this guy? He's a giant mechanical fist in a cloud. I mean, I don't believe we ever saw him. He was very Dr. Claw. I didn't care for that because I didn't really understand like what his purpose was. This makes a lot of sense. This season, I think, well explained who he is, even before we even really see him, and what he's going to mean to the series and what he means to Hordak. And of course, it's interesting. I did not see this whole idea of him rebelling against his parent of sorts. That's really interesting. Kind of like chain of events we're seeing here. Other stuff, the animation is beautiful. It looks really good. The action sequences are great. Noel Stevenson and company have really developed excellent battle sequences in all these. The humor is really wonderful in these episodes. Let's see, all these episodes were great. I don't think there was a misstep in any of them. It was a small batch. Now, for those of you who don't know, Netflix kind of split season 2 into 2 seasons, season 2 and season 3. So season 2 had more of the kind of like episodes where they're kind of like adjusting to the new status quo, and episodic episodes and humorous episodes and kind of setting things up. The second part was all the stuff we were building up to, so it's like all plot, and that's why this one feels so tight. I don't know if they're going to be doing. I don't know if we're going to see this kind of rhythm where like season 4 will be like episodic and setting up, and then season 5 will be like, you know, all plot, all action. I don't know. Or maybe Stevenson and a group will already figure out the method and they'll like kind of adjust. I don't know what their plan is. But oh boy, this was an excellent season. Highly recommend this one. This is definitely as strong as the first season. Maybe even a little stronger for all those people who like, you know, just want to get to the story. This might be your favorite season. I loved it a lot. I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 Ram Chips. Really good, strong season. Definitely recommend it. If you haven't checked out She-Ra at this point, there's only like 3 seasons, 2 of them pretty short. It's pretty easy to catch up with at this point. I do recommend this show quite a bit. So, hey, what did you think? Did you see season 3? What do you think of the season? What did you think of She-Ra so far? You can let me know in the comments below. Also, hey, I'm on the social media. I do that stuff. You can catch me on Twitter, Facebook. You can support this channel through Patreon at only $1 a month. I'm also on Instagram. So, I think that's it right now. And you can push the button, Lindsay.
They don't play the song on the radio. They don't show that it's on the radio. They don't know that we are